Yo, crypto nation and mining family, what is going on? What up, what up, what up, all you happy hashers out there? What's going on? Coming right up at you. Don't forget to smash that Lizzie like button as you guys are sliding on in. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. You know how YouTube likes it. Yo. So let's go ahead and dive on into things, guys. While we're waiting for more of you awesome people to be showing on up, let's go ahead and take a look at all things pertaining to the market. Yo, it's chart time. So here we are looking at the most important thing, and then poop coins after that. So we got Bitcoin hovering around that $61,000 to $62,000 mark right now. I mean, we're, like I said, as we get closer to the presidential election, we should just see this kind of all stall out, and then we got the perfect storm on this one, where it's the end of towards the end of the tax season, so people don't really want to take huge gains, because it's not so much that they're looking at President Trump or Biden at that point. It's just literally, as it stands right now, the policies that are set in place would in detail, that they need to have so much tax losses on the books in order to, not have to pay huge taxes at the end of the year. So we have just kind of political landscape, taxes, economy, the perfect storm kind of rolling up into this. We got a lot of uncertainty in the market. I wouldn't say fear, just a lot of uncertainty. I would say people would fear if Kamala Harris becomes president, because that's going to put in some weird taxes that are going to come in play here. A lot of socialism. And that's bad for investing, because that takes from investors and entrepreneurs with a higher than expected tax brackets for people. That's not the best answer for things. But as far as where the price is, I think we're just going to be playing this out, especially at least until the election. So we got at least another 30 days of just this weird chop trading out sideways. But good news is even traditional markets are doing the same thing. Just a couple of days ago, NASDAQ was down a full point. It's now up a point. So it's up truly over, I think, the over a course of a few days. It's truly up, what, 25 basis points? That ain't shit. The NASDAQ 100 is basically got the same chop. I mean, look at it since what? It rose up a little bit through October. Right towards the beginning of October, it rose up, and then now it's kind of trading out sideways, and now we're dropping down. We just did the classic, Bart Simpson. Bam. We rose, chopped out, dropped right back to where we started. So we really don't have much of a gain. I mean, from what? Let's see here. This is the 8th. This is all in one day, too. I mean, I could sit there and zoom in on this a little harder. But, yeah, I mean, you're really not looking at a whole lot. A lot of these traditional markets have flatlined, people. So, I mean, as much as we hate it for crypto, to see it in these traditional markets also, excellent. The Japanese market, the Nikkei 225, this is the Japanese market. This is not pulling back. The British market, we already know, is going to be pulling back. They've been doing quantitative easing, so they've been robbing their citizens blind, and their citizens are okay with this, apparently. And plus, on top of that, they're being completely replaced by foreigners, too. So, I mean, in a couple of generations, there really won't be any true Brits anymore. It'll be colonized by the Middle East, with the way that they have it going on. It's kind of weird over there. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I've talked to a few people over there, and they're not happy about things, and I don't blame them. Um, and it shows in their own market. When the people are not happy, you got a lot of unrest. Unrest brings bad economies. It's like, don't they know that a happy worker is a productive worker? And if you have a productive worker, you have a worker that's producing a quality product. That quality product's being sold on the market by other people who value quality. But that's not what that's not that they chose violence through the government. So very interesting. European market, the DAX, they're basically on damage control, trying to stop the bleeding throughout all the markets, being as close as they are to the whole Russian Ukrainian issue, and with that, you have them trying to basically their only concern is stabilizing the market, all at the same time while demonizing El Salvador because, they've made Bitcoin legal tender, and now the European market decides that they are too risky to deal with anymore moving forward. I think El Salvador will do better for this decision. I really do. I mean, I see no drawback from this. Individual stocks, Ingredia is up. But they've been bolstering a lot into the AI, so they're getting an AI pump right now. As soon as the AI craze is done, NVIDIA market will kind of pull back a little bit. The investors will get pissed off again, possibly sue them another time for misleading them. Who knows? Apple's doing all right, even though, they're really not producing a really leaps and bounds generation of equipment as of lately. Everything has been about streaming as a service to Apple. So they're basically giving you better cameras, better recording qualities and stuff like that, and calling it a new phone. Even though between two phones, there's really not much difference. It's quite amazing that their customer basis is still buying, and I'm not sitting there, going, oh, Apple, fuck them. I mean, I'm not really fond of Apple myself, but at the same time, it's like, how in the world are they not just absolutely exhausting their customer base? At some point in time, they have to run out of just consumers. Apple's really trained their customers to always just get the new equipment. Don't even think about it. You just get the new equipment, and it will work itself out. You're paying the same anyway, so what's the difference, right? It's kind of wild. As long as you're constantly trading, you're always paying the same amount, but you've always got the latest equipment. I think that's some of their little Apple scheme. It's a great business tactic that if you're like, hey, look, if you're going to pay $200, say $200 arbitragely, I'm not even going to argue what the price, I don't even know what they pay for a new phone plus their service, but let's say it's $200 per phone, right? And you're 14 phones in, you owe $3,000 on a phone, right? But your payment's still $200, so you as the consumer never know. But yet Apple is always selling new equipment. Kind of a good business idea that you just keep your customers absolutely in debt with you up to their eyeballs. Now, it would be genius if they can sit there and make their Apple iPhones like a timeshare, guys. I'm just saying. I mean, think about it. A timeshare, it's debt that passes on to your children. That's a timeshare. Imagine buying an Apple phone and your legacy is handing it down to one of your children and they have to pay the bill. oh my God. Apple is a service. Oh my God. That's bad. The world would fucking implode if that were to happen. I'm just saying. What up, Sadie? What up, Rude, my dude? And the mining machine is mining to your address as we speak, Rude. It took me an extra day or two to get it all set up because doing things. But it's mining, and it looks like you have another 2 hours to go before your mining edition is done with the family mine. What up, Sheen? It's like winner. It's like you smell that? Smells like winning. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can't wait until Friday. Because what's Friday? Free Hash Friday. Yo, you guys want to be here. And don't just let Rude be the ultimate winner here all the time. I mean, the more people that are involved with the Free Hash Friday, the more I can spread the love around the community. I mean, if it's only just a couple of people, my man Rude's gonna win. It's just hands down. This guy for this channel, this fucker is a winner. I'm just saying, man, it's pretty fucking FA. So if you get more people involved, then he won't always be the winner. I'm just saying, that guy's won a lot. And I can't exclude my man from that. I can't. Because it's Free Hash Friday. Everybody's got a chance. I want everybody to be a winner. So. But yeah, I mean, so our traditional stocks are kind of doing all right. ETFs, which are are just funds. That's all they are. You're not really taking. You're playing the arbitrage on the pricing of what it's representing, right? So you have the S&P 500 fund, the Vanguard Total Stock Market Fund, Investco QQQ. This one's usually a pretty decent stable one, to be honest. And you got iShares Bitcoin Trust, Van Eck Semiconductor Fund. This is where anything that's electronics, that's the big ones. Van Eck, this is where you can kind of invest into it, and as the technology industry kind of grows, your portfolio will grow a little with them. It's not something that I'm like, going, hey, look, you put your money in here and retire. It's more you keep putting a little bit in there, and over time, it will pay back enough that when you finally get into retirement age, you might have a little something over there that might pay for a year. Depends on how much you're really dropping into it. Really kind of depends on how much and then how you're doing your management of your portfolio, all that stuff. But then it's like you get into the crypto markets. I mean, we all know how the crypto markets really are overall. I mean, everything's just kind of been trading out sideways. We've had some pullbacks, some raises here and there, but overall, the market has been just for the most part just trading out sideways. We've been chopping down a little bit, chopping back up, but if you zoom out and you look into the ranges of everything, we've been ranging in a big range for a few months now, because the market is not going to make a decision of what it's doing until after the tax season's over. That's where I think we're going to see movement. Until then, I don't think we're going to see anything spectacular. I mean, even when you're sitting there and you're looking at the Bitcoin stock, the Bitcoin market itself, this is the market itself going back to, let's say, where did we start here? Sunday, February 25th. We started this pump. And we've haven't gone any higher than that high at 73,000. And we've been trading out sideways, going a little lower, a little lower, a little lower. It's the first time we've put a little bit of a higher high and a higher low. But look, we still fell right back down. Yeah, now we're trending upward a little bit here, but is it enough to pull us into the next bull market? No. I really don't think that we have any more momentum to come above. Realistically, I would say $66,000 per Bitcoin. I think that's where it's really going to be hitting at. And Sadie, yo, thank you, yo, giving out that memberships.
That was legitness. Yeah, it was, huh?
Heck yeah, totally FA. Drop those FAs in the Chizzity chat for Sadie over there. Yo, Sadie been gifting out subs like crazy. It's awesome. It is absolutely amazing. What up, Mikhail? Yo, what's up, my dude? What's up? What's up? So, I mean, we're definitely watching this market just trading out here. I don't see the market really kind of pumping at least until the end of the year. I mean, that's just my opinion. But what am I? I'm just a boob tuber. What do I know? I am just a boob tuber, right? That's all I am. And bam, there you go. And check this out, guys. Check this out. Look at the far left of the screen. Zoom in on it. If you're on your phone, you might not be able to see this. But if you're on your computer, you might be able to full screen this and be able to tell that this is the Osprey. Yo. It is the Osprey. It is mining right now. It's totally mining right now. Totally mining, and it's getting 14.1 gigahash per second at like 400 and something watts. Woo! Super efficient. Super efficient. Oh. And if you guys are wondering where to get one of these super efficient miners, guys, check out offsprayelectronics.io. If you guys are looking for any of this stuff, you can get the E300 VU35P. You're looking at $5,199. And if you use one of my links down below, use my coupon down below for it, and it gets you over $100 off. Bam! I mean, it's an investment. But think about the amount of power you're using and the hash rate density you are getting out of one little unit. It's an FPGA. It's not an ASIC. It looks like an ASIC, but it's not. It's reprogrammable. It's awesome. Hell yeah, thank you, Sadie. And so I mean, this is where this is like a great hardware. They've updated they've taken some of the flaws from the original FPGAs, which was always power and ground deliveries, right? And they went through, fixed those, beefed them up, hot rodding them up. I'm just saying. They got my seal of approval when they fucking hot rod something up, man. It's like, whew, it's better now. Oh, we can sit there and run this thing, because you guys didn't know. I mean, I used to have a VU9P. So I had two of them, and both of them, the dies cracked. What happened to them? The boards died. As soon as those boards die, it would short the FPGA core and puts, and there's nothing you can do about it. That was a high risk with all the VU9P variants. Even when you're dealing with the original ones, which were not designed for mining, but people were grabbing them and still mining with them, and they were definitely not designed for what they were doing to them. And then they had ones that were for mining, and yeah, it was better, but they had a high failure rate. Temperature limits sensors wouldn't kick in the right way, and all the way down to just board separations because it couldn't handle the amount of power being flowed through there, and it was generating too much heat in the board. Never a good sign. And our guys over at Offspray, they've gone through, they've taken note of what the failures are, and they have fixed them. And none of the chips are new. So don't think that you're getting a brand new out of the box FPGA. They're taking old equipment and they're repurposing them. So they're breathing in new life into old equipment. But it does come with a research and development and, parts and labor and all that good stuff. So I don't mind sitting here helping out a smaller company trying to repurpose old hardware instead of just letting it be all e-waste. That's one thing I do like about this company. So if you guys are looking for it, I do have coupon codes down below to be able to help give you a little bit of a discount on things that you may be in the market to buying. They've got the E100 VU35Ps, a single board. You're looking at just under $2,000, about $2,000 for that. And there's coupon down there for that too. A little smaller discount for the single board, but guys, if you're gonna sit there and build a GPU rig, what's the price of like a couple of GPUs? You're spending a couple of grand. Think about it nowadays. So, if you're in the budget of already buying a couple of GPUs, you might want to give this a thought. It might be right up your alley. It runs on 110, and yeah, it's you could run it basically on a server power, an HP power supply with a breakout board on there. You can even run them onto 1200, 1500 watt, or like 1200 to 1600 watt power supplies that you can manually switch on. Right, so you can run them on a normal power supply that you would use for a computer, guys. You really don't need super special hardware to really run this stuff. Sadie, diversify the farm. Yeah, because you never know. Maybe you might be turning your GPUs off in lieu of running one of these because it's a little bit more power efficient. So if you're going to be spending, if you're like, man, it's not worth running 1,500 watts worth of equipment, but it's worth running 400 watts. Bam, here you go. And we do have it. We do have it mining, guys. We do have this bad boy absolutely mining. This is awesome. We're getting 14.1 gigahashes on Pyrin V2. So there are FPGAs back on Pyrin. It's not far off for all the rest of them to be there too now. Just saying. We are now in the territory of where this stuff is going to be just, you're just going to be looking at all this equipment piling right back on, and whatever little profits that you guys were having with your GPUs are going to slowly tick down because the FPGAs are on there, and they've been on there. I know that Offspray's had them on test, like on a few test machines for at least a month. or at least a week. I mean, at least a week or two, right? I mean, when did they fork? So as soon as they forked, they started working on this basically. That's the only thing that makes sense, right? So, because I know that they didn't fork that long ago, and already have to be back on. And Carlson's next. Anything on what is it, the fish hash algorithm? That's going to be the next one to get cracked. So, bam. I've got this thing running very stable, absolutely no hardware errors, no bad shares, all good shares, no stale shares. We're doing good. We are absolutely doing good. It's tearing up here. I've been testing out on this for a couple of days, just to see how this all runs. It was the first time I was actually updating firmware on this device, and updating firmware is pretty easy, guys. If it doesn't automatically update, which it's set by that by default, you go into the firmware section, and there's a spot where it says auto update. You just hit manual update, save it, and it gives you the option to be able to drag and drop your own firmware right in place. That's all I had to do. Super simple to update this thing. Updated it, turned it on and off, and let it rip. The thing ran flawlessly since. But definitely after you do the firmware update, power it down, power it back on, and then happy mining. But yeah, this thing was super easy to program. I should have actually probably pulled this up really fast. Let's see here. Oh, don't yell at me. But here we go. So you got the sidebar right here. It's got update firmware, and right where it says manual here, it said automatic, and I selected manual and hit save, and as soon as I hit save, it brought this drop down to choose a file and then upgrade firmware. So this is the new firmwares that are on here. Not sure if this changed or not. I didn't pay attention to that. I paid attention to the current firmware version to make sure that the firmware call out changed on here. And it absolutely did. No problems. And this thing runs really cool too. So, I mean, my board temps aren't I don't even have any fans on in the mining room, right? It's just a single window is open behind it. So it's getting fresh air from outside. What's the temp outside? I mean, it's October 8th here. It's 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's 71 degrees outside. So 71 degree air coming into it. My board temps, because of it's using a rate a little over 400 watts right now. So this is like super efficient mining software for it. They definitely optimized the hell out of this. So my FPGA temp, so the one board that's got the smaller cooler on it, you can tell, and it's running a little bit higher in temp on the FPGA side, but still well within tolerance. 60C on any chipset, I don't even care. That is like, that's Gucci right there, guys. Totally Gucci. And then my voltage regulator module temps, my hottest one is again on the smaller cooler, and it's at 50C. I see absolutely no issues here. I could probably go into my fan settings and drop my fan power level down, but I have to test this out and see if my hash rate changes at all. But I can always put back on the Noctua fans. I took those off. I've got my my parallel miner fan. So, I mean, I can sit there and put the off-spray fans back on and see if it's any lower in temp, in noise for the fan. I'm just saying. And then I could sit there and put the Noctua fans on there, and oh my god, it'll be whisper quiet. These fans will barely be rolling, I think. I don't even know if I would have to really change because of the little amount of power this thing is actually using. I think I can get away with running it at this current level with the Noctua fans and not affect any performance. I would be surprised if it affected any performance at all. I can see if the maybe the FPGA temp get up a little bit higher, maybe sitting in the 70C range, maybe. But to me, even 70C is still, to me, well within tolerance. Well within tolerance. I see nothing wrong with 70C. Board temps, I haven't really seen these get too warm, even when I let my room got a little warm running this when I first got it. I saw these at like in the 40s at the most. And that was with the Noctua fans on it. Hot day plus Noctua fans, these got a little warmer. The voltage regulator temps, I think I saw these get up to like 60C on the high side. It's been the FPGA that if the FPGA hits anywhere near, I want to say around 85C, you will start seeing issues with it trying to shut that board down as a temperature protection aspect of it. So it'll make it really unstable to run, guys. I'm just saying. But I'm running these at the cores at 831 millivolts. So they're not running that much wattage. I mean, each board is a little over 100 watts a piece. You know? So, what, 140, 150 watts a pop on these? I think that's where it's fluctuating at per board. That's actually not too bad. To get 14 gigahash. Considering that, let's see here. Let's see if I can do this. So I have something else mining on here. On mining Pyrin right now as we speak, too. Let's see here. Because it's mining for Rude, my dude. All right, here we go. So I've got 9.8 gigahash here, right? And I've got, let's see here, 400, 560, almost 600 watts on this rig here to get 9 gigahash. I'm a little over 400 watts getting 14 gigahash. You guys can see the efficiency level over 3080s. And I have the 3080s pretty dialed in. You know, they're only running 150 watts a piece, except for two of them where I've got them running even lower, sitting at around 140-ish watts a piece. But this is not accounting for the motherboard power and the riser power. So there is wattage here that is not accounted for. So be mindful of that. I have there's about 1,200 watts worth of power being used on here right now. And I know that it is mostly this GPU rig. So let me pull up here my Emporia. I can look at my mining room here. And that's what my mining room is running right now with the GPU rig and the FPGA. So if I'm figuring in that the FPGA is about 400 watts, that puts this GPU rig at like around 700 watts to equate for this. Give or take, that mining, that GPU rig is not as efficient as this FPGA. Sadie's like, hashtag efficiency gang. You know it. You know, it's like you want your watts to be low and you want your hash to be high. That is the name of the game. By any means necessary. Low wattage, high hash rate. You want now I'm not saying that you want to use the least amount of wattage. You see, that's where there's also that bad mindset. You're going to use a lot of power to capture that efficiency. So if you want the efficiency of making profit, you're going to use a lot of power to make that profitability. Making a little extra side coin here and there, that's cool. But I'm saying, like, for it to be a viable business where it's either giving you a full paycheck a week or a full paycheck a month of what your normal pay would be if you went and worked a 9-to-5 job. If you could sit there and get it, but you're going to use a lot of power to get there. It's a numbers game. It purely is a numbers game. Does it make sense to buy just a singular GPU and mine with it? No. As a hobby, absolutely. Because like there's no expectation of return. You're doing it because it's kind of cool to be able to participate in this. You're able to stack a little bit of coin. Maybe you can afford to sit there and spend, let's say your electric at the end of the month, you're an extra $25, but you're pulling in an extra, let's say $30 worth of coin. So you're making, $5-10 worth of extra coin because you participated with your hardware. But you participated with your hardware, so you're really not truly making that. You're just basically helping secure the network and you're earning a little bit of coin. So that's where I tell people, I'm like, yeah, it's you're in the hobby status until you sit there and you switch gears and you're like, I'm going to do this as a business, and now it's a numbers game. It is literally, okay, how many mining rigs does it take for the power to be free on all the rest of them? That's the game. And not too many people are at that level. So that's where I'm like, you're not really profitable. You're just kind of playing it as a hobby, which is awesome. And that's where even I started off at. I created a business doing it. And I found out that you can do it at home where you can overcome your power bill very easily. Where are you going to be at with your power bill? Probably around $2,000. It can be done. But then you got to make that decision of, are you going to sell your coin, pay the electric bill, or do you have a good enough job to be able to pay for it and you're just going to hold on to the coin and you're going to pay for the electric out of pocket no matter how big your electric bill is? I'll tell you, I got over $2,000 a month here at my house running about 90 amps out of this house. If I were to try to do it again and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to outpace my electric bill again, I would need to upgrade that electric panel. That electric panel right there, yeah, it needs to be a 200 amper. I would need to probably use around 150 amps out of that box in order to overcome my electric bill at this point. And it goes back to what Sadie said, hashtag efficiency game. It's how much can I yank out of here and actually efficiently use as a for mining, because the more I can utilize it efficiently and turn it into hash rate, the less that electric bill even affects me. It's kind of a weird situation when you hit that level where you're like, oh wow, these 6 rigs here pay for the rest of the electric on the other 2. So if I run 14 of them, then half of them will be free. So, I mean, that's where you kind of get into it, where you're only paying for half of your rigs because the other half is making so much that it's paying for the other half, and you can indefinitely run it like that. So, you know, you can sit there and run it like that, but you want to be able to also put aside some coins so that you can always buy more equipment like this over at Offspray electronics.io. You like that little shameless plug here? It links down below if you want to do this. They do take crypto. So we could sit there and get these rigs, you know, and be as efficient as possible in there. I mean, think about having 90 amps worth of this VU35P right now running at 400 watts, 400 or 500 watts a piece. I could put a lot of them in that room and just kind of chase coins with the FPGAs. And there are people who are running FPGAs like this all day long. They got racks of these things because they're so easy to deploy. And then you can sit there and use software like Foreman and deploy it on a little Raspberry Pi and be able to manage all your FPGAs in one spot. Hashtag awesome, you know. So if I sit there and I start running all this stuff again, I'm probably going to be deploying Foreman to be able to run all of my equipment once again. Just because it was so clean on the interface. Oh, I actually enjoyed running it, and the only drawback is that, like, if a miner locked up on it, like, you have to go out to it and physically touch the machine to turn it on and off to get it to kind of wake back up. Had someone trolling you, turn down 7900X, 13 kilohash. It was like, bro, I'm at 70 watts. How can you not understand that half of your watts and 3/4 of your hash rate? Right. Oh, yeah. And it's like you can let those people sit there and troll you all they want. Those are the people that whenever they see you, you know, sitting there buying new equipment, they're going to sit there and hate on you because they're not understanding where they failed. They're not understanding how it is that you're able to afford it, and they think you're doing it all wrong because they don't want to sit there and eat crow and realize that, well, maybe you had a better game plan and a better execution of that game plan than they did. And because of your game plan, that, you know, you were able to make moves that they had the opportunity for, but failed to execute on. That's their problem. You know, I don't really care. I've had people come up on here in my comment section, just straight hatred. And I just kind of chuckle and I'll respond to them and be like, hey, thanks. And you see them like, oh, I put a thumbs down. And I'm like, thank you for the interaction. That's all that YouTube really requires. You've helped the algorithm help me. Thank you very much for watching and commenting. You know, it's like, feed the machine. That's all they're doing. There's no such thing as bad publicity. So if they want to sit there and throw hate at you, you know, it just shows where they are overall. You know, maturity level, if they're making bad arguments, or just you can just see the jealousy that you have a whole bunch of stuff. That's what I usually get, is a whole bunch of jealousy. somebody goes, "Oh, you're the problem why my GPU is costing me so much." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I stood in line for 24 hours to get a GPU. That's the reason why you had to pay so much more. I had to pay the same price in line." Yeah. Oh my God, man! During the whole scamdemic, yeah, that I was getting so much hatred in the chats. I mean, in the comment section. Oh, it was epic. It was awesome. I liked it. Didn't bother me none. I sat there and stood in line for 24 hours for a 3080. Come at me. Like, it reminded me of sitting there waiting for a video game drop. You know, you're at the game store at like waiting from like noon the day before, and then waiting for the midnight release. Come on here, FA in the chat if you've done a midnight release party, guys. I'm just saying. FA in the chat if you've done a midnight release party. I mean, I've done it. I'm that old. It's like FA, huh? Like, it's like have a shirt that says "I bought your GPU." Oh my God, yeah. I think there used to be a shirt that somebody had a shirt that said "I bought your old GPU." It shows like on the back side of it like a mining rig or something. I don't remember, or maybe that's something I was thinking of a while back. I know somebody had a "I bought your GPU" just right across the front of their shirt. I've thought about opening up my Shopify again. I've thought about it. I really have. It makes some like awesome. It's like, yeah, I bought one 100%. Did it have a GPU rig on the back? Sadie, did I bought your was that Son of a Tech that did that? And did he have a GPU rig on the back? I don't remember who it was that came out with that shirt. It's like merch, yes. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about the whole merchandises. It's like you don't make a whole lot of money off the merch. But they are a little bit more crypto friendly nowadays too. I stopped using Shopify because like they were hating on crypto for a while. It was because of Apple. With a mining silhouette pickaxe guy. All right, okay. I think we can make some stuff happen. I've got to I got a lot of ideas, but I've got to I guess if I'm making enough through this channel to be able to pay for the Shopify membership, then I'll continue. I'll set up a Shopify merch section. Faded, would rather get a new one from you. Yeah, I've got to get. I've basically got to start. I think in order to open up a Shopify store, I think it's like $35 or $40 a month is what I need YouTube revenue to hit. And then I think I can, like, right now, because, like, I'm not earning enough wrenching out of my garage right now. So, either YouTube has to pay for it, or I got to start making more money in the garage. One of the two. I know, Sadie, you've been helping with all these memberships. Awesome, awesome. Giving out all these test hashes. It's all about those test hashes, man. But I'm like super stoked over this aspect. I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but this is straight up good hash rate. Amazing hash rate here, all up on Pyrin. So, guys, with your GPUs, you've just been outclassed. Now, I don't know how many FPGAs are rolling in on Pyrin right now, but I know that all the Offspray devices now have capabilities of running this. This is a public bitstream for Offspray. You can go onto their Twitter page and you will find a direct link that will download for you. And then you just take that, upload it into your thing. So if TechMan ever shows up, TechMan should be updating his firmware on there so he can be mining some of this Pyrin. So hopefully soon I'll be able to make some enough money to be able to open up a Shopify store. I've actually been thinking about doing that for a while. So don't worry, Sadie. It's a project in the back of my mind that I've been thinking about. So awesome to see that the temperatures are well within spec. No hardware errors. All good hash rates. What's kind of odd though is I can't really turn this thing up at all. I get bad shares like instantly when I turn this thing up. And not even that much. I'm talking like it's at the frequency is at 590. If I go to 600, it starts submitting bad shares. If I go to 610, oh wow, yeah. It's like lots of bad shares and will eventually crash. Too many errors at that point. But yeah, the way that I got it right now, oh yeah, she's nice and happy. Super happy. So does anybody got any comments or questions before I head up out of here? Anything at all, guys? And while you're sitting there thinking of questions, certainly smash that lizard like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. And remember, we're one day closer to Free Hash Friday. Spread the word. Spread the word. Hashtag Free Hash Friday coming up. I'm just saying. We need to get the world that needs to know about Free Hash Rate Friday. I'm just saying. The world needs to know. Man, that FPGA with the parallel miner fans on there, pretty noisy. Not horrid. Not horrid. It's not full blast on the fans, but man, I'm curious to know if I swapped them out for the Offspray ones, would it be any quieter? Could it be any quieter? I don't know. If you guys don't have any other comments or questions, certainly drop those FAs in the Chizzity chat, because you guys are rated F for frickin' awesome. Oh. Spam those FAs, guys. Spam them hard. Everybody spam the FAs. All of a sudden, people are coming in right as I'm like getting out of here. I see a couple of people just piled on in right as I'm about to take on off out of here. Yo. So if anybody's coming in late, you're just gonna have to rewind it and like watch everything, you know, because I know you guys are that cool. You're gonna do that anyway. Does anybody have any other comments or questions? Because if not, thank you everybody for being here. You all rock. All that good stuff out there, guys. So, if nobody has any other comments or questions, peace out. Stay savage. May your wants be low, your hash be high. And of course, I'll see you on the next one. Yo. And Sadie, I appreciate you. I appreciate you because you're awesome. You rock with all these gifted out memberships. I mean, a big old FA for you too. I'm just saying, because you're freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. I hope freaking stay there. Just saying. With that being said, peace out. Yo.